dare to dream as we gaze upon the stars.
Every miner longs for eyes, like a burger needs its fries.
Friendship never dies, the world is ours.
Flying without you is more than I can bear. Keep looking over my shoulder, hoping to see you there. No one scans me down and blows me up like you do. Burns right through the armor of my heart.
Our hosts collide and everything goes pew pew.
Let us all unite so we can tear each other apart. Come fly with us, won't you lend a helping hand? Come fly with us, let the good times never end. Lock in under and fly with us and die with us, my friend. Fly with us, won't you lend a helping hand? Come fly with us, let the good times never end. Lock in under and fly with us and die with us, my friend.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Push to Talk. We're here live with the crew. We've got Urandus over there in the center square, as they used to say in the Hollywood squares, right? Center square?
Hello.
Center top? Hey, we've got McLeod joining us here as well. And
What's up, guys?
super cool hat, I love it. And we've got Scythe with us back again. So nice to have
I
him.
got a new webcam.
New webcam, what'd you get?
That Microsoft Live Cam you were telling me about a while ago. Finally got one.
Oh, cool.
They were on sale for like 80% off if you bought them from the Microsoft store on like Halo Day or some shit. So there you go.
And we've got RJ. RJ, has your internet been installed, or are you still running over the phone?
I have good interwebs now.
All right, that's great to hear.
Finally. God damn it.
Caleb's supposed to join us, but we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen him at all on the other channels at all.
Yeah, and I'd like to say hello and welcome to everybody out there in the audience. It's great to have you around. This is the Masters Edition because I love golf. So, of course, I am here in my green jacket, which is not an Augusta green jacket, unfortunately.
You have to win those.
I've not won the or be elected in, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could get elected in. That was probably more likely in your case.
Hold it. What is it? Oh, yeah. I've got the yellow shirt. By the way, I went to my locker and I'm like, hey, what's this freaking shirt doing in my locker, right? And somebody had just shoved it in there. It is actually from, actually, I don't know if you can see it, our Thursday night beer club, but it's just the right color yellow for Masters Week. So we got this little leprechaun holding the beer, Thursday night beer club, you know. It's excellent. So it's fun. So I don't get to wear this jacket very often. So, hey, it's out today because it is moving day at the Masters. And that's all we're going to talk about golf. It's over. However, I did make a Masters-related drink. And it's
Coffee?
beautiful.
Was it?
My wife
Was
said,
it?
My wife said, that's really fancy. And here it is. This is called...
Was it? Is it a Sergio Garcia special? Like
No,
just water?
There are not 13 shots in here. Okay.
Hey guys,
There.
hey guys, I've got breaking news. Got breaking news. Twitch just told me that we're live on my phone. So.
Oh, excellent,
good.
excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
you're welcome.
So this is the azalea. It's really easy to make. I made my wife go out and buy an orange because I needed the orange for the effect. It's called the azalea because azaleas are the big flower on Augustus Golf Course. And so now I'm just going to throw this orange over here and the maraschino cherry over there. And it's pretty much grenadine, vodka, and lemonade.
That sounds
I
great.
could go for some of that right
Fantastic.
now. That'd be good.
Yeah,
It is fantastic.
It sounds quite nice.
Fantastic. What's the deal with the reporter thing? So yeah, there were a couple of people talking just before we went live, and they were talking about the reporter, and I'm gonna have to get this because it's actually the reporter talking with the cops there. So I'm gonna link that in here. Okay.
The hell are we talking about?
This
You're better. I am slightly better than Charles Barkley. Not a lot, but better.
Most people.
Just a little bit better.
So this was a reporter, okay, and she was doing a live cast onto Facebook. So she's doing a Facebook Live. So she's sitting there with her phone like this, right? And she's reporting on something happening in the traffic, right? So she's along the side of the road with the big frickin' news car and everything. And somebody called the cops and said, "There's a crazy lady talking to herself on the side of the road. You need to get some cops out there." And
Make sure she's not going to commit suicide by
I'm sitting there
car.
going, "There's a crazy lady at the side of the road." It's a
Person
fucking
in this
reporter,
day and age
right?
thinks that nowadays. Like, you know, I could understand like maybe 20 years ago, someone's seeming as though they're talking to themselves. Oh, they might be crazy. Not like, you know, not like nowadays where, you know, you see people fucking going around talking on like, you know, no, you know, hands-free kits and fucking. I mean, well, she probably even had her phone in her hand, right?
Yeah, she had a phone. She's sitting like this.
So
She's
it's just
on
like,
Facebook
yeah,
Live,
so-
right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so I mean I saw that come
mean-
across actually. It made national news. It was on CNN's website. That's where I actually got the original link. And then when I searched for it this morning, there was a better video there, right?
On Facebook
And-
Live.
Yeah, yeah. So she's and she, and, you know, and you watch the video. It's kind of funny. I had it posted in our thing, right? But
You know,
he said
honestly,
somebody
like,
at the
I'm not-
strip mall down the street said there's a crazy lady talking to herself at the side of the road.
I'm surprised it didn't blow
Need some more
out
of
and
this.
blow into there's a crazy lady with a gun and then like fucking cops shooting her. Or
Please
something.
not.
No,
Please
let's
no.
not go there. That doesn't happen that often.
So Eric, you were talking about the Masters.
Shit happens.
The only golf brag I have is that I have this as a paperweight, which is my my three wood. It's club head that I snapped off and hit my best drive all at the same time. It's the one where I was 2 inches from the hole, and I almost had a hole in one. It's
Oh wow!
so sad. Yeah, that was my par three
You know
that I
what?
almost got a hole in one on. Snap the club hitting it, but it was beautiful.
I had been a foot away a number of times, right? And I'm like, so I'm a foot away. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. I'm taking a picture of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have like all these pictures of me like a foot away, and
Yeah. You've got one, haven't you?
I have one. It was
Yeah.
It was a 200-yard hole in one. Not as quite as good as my ex boss. He had a hole in one on a par 4.
Yeah, mine was on a par 3 that I almost got it, and I think
Yeah.
it was probably around 200. I don't remember the range on it at the top of my.
I've never liked
um,
a pink drink this much. It's really good.
My only golfing anecdote as such is
Joke there. Ugh. Get childish, kids. You'll figure it out. Oh, but Karthus the Chief, check on the art forms, bud. They commented it should be they charge for that though, for the your custom bee artwork.
Custom bees, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we paid for this bee, and then RJ got in
Patriot
trouble when
bee.
he wore it on a shirt to work.
They
'Cause
thought
said-
it was a penis.
Yeah.
Because it is a penis. It's not a
Hey,
penis,
but
but
the new job.
It's a penis. It's an e-penis.
The new job loves the shirt actually. They're
Awesome.
like, oh, hey, what is that? Is that a gun? I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't as
It's the
perverted in the
Warthog.
last place, I guess.
It's the A10's gun, right? That's the gun from the A10
Yeah, the
Warthog,
last
right?
pla- the,
Yeah.
the last place that you
It's
worked
beautiful.
had like people thinking odd
Like,
thoughts.
I
like-
walked in and I was like, is that a well endowed bee right there? And I'm like, no, it's a gun. What are you
He's
talking
got an
about?
Uncle Sam hat and a beard. You
That's
know,
right.
it's pubes. It's face pubes.
By the way, there's a couple people out there. Karthos Chief, he got a hold of one too as well. That's excellent. And
It's
Mech got it on putt putt, but still putt putt sometimes
think-
it's tough.
Putt
it
putt
is.
is a serious game because if you play
is.
putt putt like we do, you have to take a shot before each hole. So by 18, you don't know how to club anymore.
He's beating the shit out of that clown at the end. Right?
Y'all have ours are all like island themed, so there's like tiki heads and shit nearby.
Dude,
Do
everywhere
you,
I've
do you
lived,
guys have that,
recently-
like in putt putt? Do you guys have that kind of the windmill thing?
I've only seen one course with the windmill, and I never got to play it because they tore it down.
Almost every course has a windmill where I am. I mean,
See
Yeah.
Although
the
I
way
only
that
know
I
of
kind of
one
see it is
putt-putt.
they should like soup up the windmill so it's going like 100 mile an hour and like
Yeah,
when
it's, when it hits the ball, it
Wing!
launches it, and it breaks
like fucking
windshields.
launches it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
And a
take out some.
castle.
Oh, he's gonna
When you
have
take
to
out
play
the
that.
kids across the street, you take
gonna
someone out in the batting cages to get hit in the back of the head. It'll be awesome.
by the way, those are the
I have
mobile
to play
games.
that
I
one
like.
from Austin.
You got to play that one on top of the guy's corpse.
Jesus Christ.
Play it where it lands.
The actually, my kids were watching Happy Gilmore. Like in the next room, they're watching Happy Gilmore.
So
It's funny.
good.
That is a fucking
And
awesome
as I made the
movie.
drink, it's like, as the rules say, play as it lies. That's not actually what the rules say.
If it's on a guy's foot, I'm pretty sure you can roll it off. I'm just saying.
Unplayable lie. Give me a club length, right?
Mhm.
I'm surprised there's people who golf out there that watch a show. That's kind of funny because that's kind of rare.
We used to stream the golf.
I'll
Eric.
tell you what. Well, Mittens.
We still need to do the live stream of us playing real life golf. We,
You know
we got to
what?
get that.
I want to when we go to Vegas this year. We've got to
Yeah.
hit Top Golf and hang out
Yes.
there for like a couple hours. So
We need to
I mean,
teach Mittens how to hit a drive.
He was
that-
already
that-
videoed at Top Golf. He's there. He's got it.
But that gift that it was bad though.
He was
Yeah.
bad. But,
It was really sad. Made me
I'm
cry.
not going to comment on his swing.
I'm not.
All right,
I'm just
'cause-
being,
'cause
an asshole.
Because I'm a fat
My
guy
job.
that plays golf with a knee that doesn't turn. Okay, you should. See
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
that's not
just
great.
just know if you guys ever visit me down here in my new home of Alabama, we do have Top Golf in town.
Dude,
So-
I'm like 6 hours away. Let's meet up. Let's do it. Let's get drunk. It'll be
Yeah, we're
fun.
supposed to have Top Golf opening in a couple weeks here.
Dude, the place
I'm
is
just saying.
huge.
Pinned meet. Let's meet in Florida at Miami Beach.
Okay,
do
so
it.
we've gone 50 minutes. We're gonna have to go into our first thing, but here I'm gonna
Which
answer
one is?
Karthos
If this is
first.
Eve News, I need to get my glasses on.
Yeah, we'll do Eve News, but
Okay.
we'll wait for it.
No, just start it up. I guess.
So my pick, I would like to see. Actually, I have a couple. I do want to see Tiger win. I want to see Mickelson win because he would be the oldest. I want to see Bubba Watson win because I just like fucking Bubba Watson, or Ricky Fowler or Jordan Spieth. Those are the 5 that I would be happy winning. Jordan because I think he's a nice guy, and same with Ricky Fowler. I just like him as sports figures. I think they're good examples. But if I ever met Ricky Fowler, I'd have to like fucking bend his fucking baseball hat because it kills me that it's flat like yours. Okay, I fucking can't stand that. Bend the
This is,
fucking bill.
This is one of the few baseball caps that they aren't making any more of. So no, thank
Yeah.
you. It's a limited year run because it's my Star Wars celebration.
Yeah, I'd like to meet Bubba too, Karthos.
Keep it pristine, bro.
I've
That's
never
right.
done it. I really wanted to meet Arnold Palmer. Never got the opportunity. But I do have a lot of his autographs actually hanging on walls back here. But we're not going to look at them today. So yes. So let's
I
go
got my-
into talking about the the monthly economic report, because we have some pretty graphs that we kind of made up that CCP
All right, let me
doesn't have.
let me get ready for these graphs.
All right,
let's do
we're
it.
gonna do a little slideshow. By the way, we're going right into a slideshow, guys.
These
First
are
slide,
prescription googly eyes, okay?
He needs them to
Yeah,
see the first.
I need them to see.
He needs them to see the first graph. It's
It's fucking terrible.
And we
The
made
dark,
it.
the dark bits are actually like, you know,
We made this first graph
Very
just to show you
focused.
how hideous this first graph is. Okay, ready? So we're going right into Eve News here. If the button clicks.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, transition.
Alrighty, here is the first one. Isn't as ugly as sin, guys. Check it out. You can't
Looks
even
like a
read
giant
anything,
turd
and
and
you don't
multiple
want to.
turds.
It's fucking bad. But that beautiful yellowish orange chunk on the right that looks like baby poo.
Yeah,
Great.
that
Great
was-
chunk.
that was
It's a great graph chunk.
So
Looks
It's-
like
it's
baby
a-
poo because we're baby poo.
So-
It actually looks better on the stream than it does on Zoom here or
Really?
on
That's
the
good.
meeting. Yeah, it's actually readable on the stream.
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah, it's actually clear.
all this tiny print because it's just freaking tiny print, right?
Yeah.
It means year to date, all production across all systems. Delve is now #1 with 17% of all the production across
Could you
all
could you
systems.
just explain that year to date thing? Like, is that like
So
from
year-to-date
the start
20
of the year or?
So that is the summary from CCP for January, February, March, right? So what we did, we took all those total values and added them up, and here we are. So yeah, that's just ugly. But to give us a little better picture, yeah, you beat the Forge year to date. But if you want to see, the next one is just some of the top producers over that in March. Okay, that in March did over 10 trillion in production. Okay, or total over 10 trillion in production. Right? That's this
my
graph.
favorite.
This is a little better.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So this is
I
year
love
to
it
date,
so much.
over 10 trillion, boys and girls.
That's
Look at
fucking
Delve.
terrifying.
So, so if we eliminate everybody who made less than 10 trillion in production, right, and we just got rid of their totals and everything, right, we only took those guys. Delve is up there again. I made them pretty blue this time.
We've harvested more in Delve in the last 2 years than we ever did in Declan over the last 3.
Who's vacuuming in the
News.
background?
Sorry, that's not a vacuum. That's a
Very
smoothie
powerful
maker.
piece
He's
of-
got the auto blow running.
Nah.
Yeah,
Auto blow.
it's my computer PC. It's my case fans. My PC is running really hot from all this cryptocurrency mining I'm doing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, we don't like you because you're making all those damn video card things happening.
Man,
So-
fucking cryptocurrencies are bullshit
And
anyway.
so pie charts are pretty, right? But I wanted to do the same thing in a line graph because I really think that just sets it all.
You get a
off.
hard on for line graphs? Is that what we're doing?
You should have taken the production
Second
value. You
around
should have
those.
taken the production value that was
The
like that you
slides.
have there on that graph, and then divided it by like the region population.
Oh, that'd be
that
good.
would've
With
done-
the
that
region
would've
pop
been-
showing, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of work. Well, but
Yeah, I know.
doable because I got all this shit in a database, so it's good. But let's take a look at it from a line graph because if I were hanging things on the wall, I would hang the line graph on the wall.
I'm grabbing more coffee. Don't cut to me.
So what you see here, right, is the top 5 producers by value, right? And you can see, so we've got the Forge here in orange, and you've got Delve in blue. And that is
What the
a
fuck happened
giant
with-
leap.
Yeah, what happened between February and March? Did you guys
So-
just go right? We need to crush it this year.
Everyone
So,
we got undeployed, I guess, because we were
Yeah.
fleeting
Well-
hard real bad in February. I felt.
I think it's more than that. I think, and Riv and I were talking about this, and she mentioned something. We believe that they have now added, but there's nothing to confirm because CCP doesn't give us the definition of what's behind some of these numbers, right? We believe that they've added reactions into the production numbers, and that shows
That
you.
makes
So,
sense.
but
That would make sense. That
'cause
would make
we're-
sense.
because we're really the ones doing a lot of organized moon mining, right?
Yeah, we definitely are.
But
We have a
who's
calendar
not in,
for that shit.
Who's not
I
in
need
the
to
top
buy
5?
I need to buy T2 stuff from you guys.
Who's not in the top 5? Oh, I don't know. Eric, what's it called again? Who's not in there?
Declan.
Yeah, why? I wonder why.
I don't know. So that's pretty much the stuff on the production stuff. That's what we think though, and that probably accounts for a lot of this. But when you look at it too, that means everybody got that added into their production, right? So it's still fair game, but it really looks like they have really ramped up production here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you can make the belts spawn on your time, it really increases your efficiency.
You guys have had a little while to sort of like iron out the kinks of all of your.
Oh, I know our corp alone. We've got our setup really pretty. I think. Our directors have done a great job getting a schedule up because we're doing a massive recruiting push right now. So it's
we're not really gonna show because we don't show goon metrics and things, but pen number 1.
Fucking pen number 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I blame Eric and one of our other boys, Lashana, I believe was the.
We won't talk about that. So
Goons started actually putting mining metrics onto the monthly reports.
We believe that CCP is putting moon mining metrics on these reports now. These aren't Goons.
No, on our personal Goon.
No, I don't think it's on the Goon.
No,
the Goon one's all Paps, Mumble.
No, we're number 1. Just go look.
We are number 1 though. Yeah.
Of course.
All right. So that's enough on the production. Let's look at mining by region. And I just did this in a line graph. We only have one graph on this one, right? So let's take a look at the mining by region, guys.
I wonder.
Can you pick out Delve? Anybody?
No, because I was distracted by all the crap at the bottom that doesn't matter. It's all the way up there.
I know the answer to this.
Uranus
raised his hand.
Uranus is taking mining values for 600, Alex.
So
it has to be in the form of a question.
If we look at the graph properly, we can see that Delve is the orange one, the one that kind of is like way above all the others.
Oh, golf clap.
I'm sorry, you have to phrase that in the form of a question.
We don't care. We're not.
What is better than everyone else?
Correct. Yes.
The orange line.
Well, let's take Delve for 1,000. It's just Delve.
So I'm just getting back. My mattress was just delivered. So what I'm seeing here is a slideshow on rape. Is that it?
Just get all that gravel rape.
Jesus.
Gravel rock.
God. He's been away from his wife too long. All right.
Yeah, dude, I won't see it for another month.
Dude, RJ's his wife's gonna divorce him when they get back together because he's gonna be childish.
Everybody recruits bitter vets, but Penn's recruiting. So anyway,
Penn is recruiting.
So let's look at our last graph. How about that? Our last graph here. Okay.
Eric, can you post this link in chat for
Why can't you post it?
Because it doesn't let me put links in chat for some reason.
I'll post
it. It's our forum. Thanks. It's our format.
Please, come on. We don't care about that. So anyway, let's look at NPC bounties. What do you guys think? I have some guesses on that.
So we're not really known for ratting, and people who rat are terrible. So I'm gonna say we're at the bottom because ratting is so suboptimal.
All right, here we go.
Go to slide.
Which line is Delve, ladies and gentlemen? I bet you it's that pretty blue one at top.
I'll take the darkest blue one for 500.
There you go. The interesting one is the light blue one, which is on a downward trend from. And by the way, I should have made the month names bigger, but I'll work on that.
Yeah, they're a little hard to tell. But
so what we've learned here is that lots of goons are suboptimal in their money making schemes.
You got to do all the money making schemes though.
Goons suck. Well, by the way, this is only the top 10 regions. That's all we're displaying here.
Yeah.
So
I would say that Quirius there, although like I know that my boys in initiative do try and contribute. Like we're only doing it in one constellation.
Well, understand though that you are number 4 in all regions, right? When you look at that, you're the yellow line, right? So you are number 4 in Rising, right? You're almost number 3. So when-
yeah.
You are picking up pretty good. Like honestly, your trend is actually really
Yeah.
clear there. It's
So-
looks like February was a good deployment month for y'all, and it looks like you are picking it up.
So one of the things that we did with these numbers, right, is we didn't sit here and say, oh, by the way, a lot of mining in Quirius is goon related, right? We didn't add those into the Delve numbers. These are straight region numbers, right? So when you look at NPC bounties in Quirius, you know, in Delve and things like that, and Fountain, right? No, Fountain, you're number 2. Sorry. You're number 2 in Fountain.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, when you look at Imperium controlled placement in some of these, it's pretty heavy, you know? Why is everything so heavy in the future? Sorry.
That was great joke there, Doc.
I don't know. You tell us, Eric.
By the way, and Karthos is talking about some of the downtrends, the Reavers and Roar. I don't know, but probably some of it is because we're blowing some serious oracles up, right, and things like that. So it's pretty good. I'm going to bring us back out of the slideshow. That's the last slide we got, but we can still talk about some of the stats if people want to.
So now, if we're CCP and we're looking at this, we're clearly seeing that goons are obviously the most dominant force in the galaxy. So if we're CCP, what are we doing to nuke goons? Because obviously we can't let goons stay like this.
Well, here's a question, right? When you look at the NPC bounties, when you look at the mining, right? Is this going to spawn another round of let's nerf mining and ratting, right?
It doesn't work. They do it constantly. They've done it constantly, and it hasn't done a thing.
It keeps
And all we do is just
Find
adjust and
energy-
go forward.
Because the thing is, when you balance something based on, you know, the top, like someone like goons, right? It doesn't just affect goons. It affects everyone else.
It's the power creep.
So it's
The
like
people
when
you,
you- when
nerf
you-
everything evenly, and then
Yeah.
the people who were more powerful are still more powerful. It doesn't really help.
Yeah, exactly. Like
And
all
really,
you're gonna
this
do
is-
is you're gonna compress that, and goons are still gonna be on the top by a clear margin.
Yeah.
So
and
the problem
if
with-
you really look at it, I think this is just a numbers thing. I think the rest of the galaxy got off their asses and learned that war is not the way, and we just need to fight the menace that are the belts. That they would be making as much money as us because
You're saying that
it's-
the rest of New Eden does not know the way.
yes, they do not know D-Way. This is true.
There's also an issue of when you nerf one strategy, the organization with the most resources to apply change is also going to continue to keep winning because they change the money-making strategies for Eve. The Goonstorm has a crap ton of liquid cash, and we go, okay, well, we now all have the new ratting fits. We all now have the new mining whatever doctrine that actually is going to make you money. We have the new production that's going to make us the most money. We have the money to throw at it, so then we just make more. You know,
Yeah, you got the.
we can adapt to change quicker and easier than anyone just because we have X amount of cash. You know.
You got the money, and you've got you've got the highest brain trust. And then,
Yeah.
You know. So,
Our fucking theory crafters are numerous,
Well,
to say the least.
that's one of the challenges, right? So the question that I have when you look at these numbers, are the hardcore players gravitating toward Delve? Right? The hardcore miners, hardcore PvPers, all those folks, are they gravitating to the only place where there's content and things to do? What do you guys think?
I don't think so. I think this is just goons. We're in a state of not being at war, and we've seen that when goons are left to their own corner, they will rat and mine to their heart's content and fill up their wallets to insane levels.
Yeah. I want a
We
deployment
saw
because
this.
I'm
We saw
bored.
this in Declan, and I think for the longest time we weren't able to fully push Declan because Declan is a very wide region as far as system goes. Declan is just a gigantic pipe surrounded by tons of NPC nullsec areas, and so we're constantly trying to move around NPC nullsec, trying to keep people out. And I think Delve being much more compact is
But you can't say that Dell doesn't have its fair share of NPC null.
It doesn't. No, this is
change
true.
the
This is
thing,
true.
but, you know,
But when you look at
guys
the-
keep that in check.
Yeah, and when you look at the geography of Delve as well, it's very compact as far as like where all the systems are. So it's very easy also to rapidly move around any capitals or things like that to defend other capitals.
I like Mech 101's comment of the only nullsec miners who won't join Goon are the ones who say getting a PAP is too hard.
I'm sorry, how many corps and goons actively check PAPs?
Ours
do.
does, I know.
Mine doesn't.
We really check ours because we're small and we like being number one on that list. So we
I think
we
I
enforce
take
that
too
policy.
much advantage of AMOC and
I just love that I'm now in charge of enforcing that policy. I don't know how I got responsibility, but fuck.
Who gave her site
Someone gave you
responsibility?
responsibility.
So the guy in the green jacket said, "Hey, you should do this," and I go, "Okay," and then
Yeah.
now I
you
get
did.
to talk to people. You know.
So we've got Carlos or Carthos Chief out there because I had to restart my my Google Chrome. He said he doesn't think CCP is going to take any action at all. Although I believe about a year ago or so, CCP did take action. I think based on some of Goon's activity.
I mean, you can nerf Rorquals more, but
It's not going to help though. Nerfing the Rorquals just means I deploy more Rorquals.
to be fair, I'm not a fan of seeing the Rorquals being like the #1 mining thing. Like, I would much rather see Rorquals be like more down closer to like a mining or like where
The
the
Orca.
excavate.
Yeah.
No, not the Orca, like the excavators, like the.
You want to see
Can't
the
remember what they're
Rorqual produce at the same rate of the Hulk. If that's the
Yeah.
case, the risk needs to go down because the cost to risk is not there.
Well, I mean,
You
I
just gotta
personally
math
see
people-
see them being more as like a mining fleet support ship. Like you have one in the belt with like 10 or so Hulks, and you're running your mining form in links, and then if enemies warp in, you can hit the panic button. That's how I personally think they should be. But
Well, then if you want a mining support ship, throw the Porpoise on the field because it's actually useful in that scenario. Then give the Porpoise the panic button and do that. Honestly, if they wanted to reduce the Rourke mining rate, you need to get rid of the drones and give the Rourke a capital mining laser. Still make them sit at 0 on a fucking rock or whatever the hell you want to do to try and make it so the Rourke stays in danger. But get rid of the fucking drones because the risk to effectiveness right now I think is pretty fair. But if you drop it anymore, it's not.
what's the difference between changing its drones to a mining laser?
Because the drones can be sniped and they're the expensive thing to ship. If you have to kill my whole ship, the risk to reward is lowering my mining rate. If you have to actually kill my ship to actually hurt me, that's a little more fair.
I hate that the drones cost over $1 billion each. and they
Correct.
don't-
Hell, if the drones were like reduced cost down to
a Hulk.
2/3 of what they are now, then I would say it's probably fair. It'd be. I wouldn't mind
I think
reducing
a
their
billion
production.
ISK drone is
It's-
ridiculous.
Why don't they cost the same as like a heavy fighter? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Lucy
They're
Pickle
not even a heavy fighter. They take less to make.
and Lucy Pickle is out there asking if we're going to cover the FC tournament. No,
No.
no.
Well, it's an FC
Little cat.
Hey,
tournament.
who bought that FC ship?
Oh my God.
I literally saw one. I literally saw one of our FCs in initiative
too.
using it.
Can we,
Someone
like,
was-
can we just like
Just get a fucking
ban
like
that person?
And you know the funny thing is, like, the op that I saw Panda using it was
Mhm.
the op that GOTG, like it was the 7D op, like when we took 7D, and it was the op that GOTG had, I think, a 1.5 to 2 to 1 like numbers advantage, and they didn't bring it. And like I joked about the fact that it was because they saw Panda was flying a monitor and was like, yeah, we can't kill him, so it's not possible.
gotta snipe the FC.
Aramis loves his porpoise.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with the Porpoise. That's not. I agree. The Porpoise is great. Throw it up there, get the boost running, and mine to your heart's content and high sec. Have fun.
By the way, Spieth looks good on the driving range, boys and girls. So he's looking good today. He's ready to go.
All right, Eric. So speaking
Yes.
of golf again, who hit the 86-foot putt the other day? I forgot.
I don't
think
know.
you told me last night.
There was an
I have to look
86-foot putt. Where?
So someone apparently sank a ridiculous putt.
I don't
on,
think-
like Thursday.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Look it up.
I will. Yeah.
I just really like when, Paula Creamer sank that giant arcing rainbow putt to win one of her things a couple years ago. So there. Was it Tiger? Might be. I don't know. Tiger wasn't doing really well on the putting. Spieth was really doing well putting.
I mean, Tiger hasn't really been doing very well for like a few years, right?
Well, he hasn't played. I mean, this is
Yeah.
he's just played in 2 tournaments just
Are
recently.
you talking about Bubba Watson hitting it around trees?
Oh, Bubba Watson hitting around trees to win a couple years ago was fantastic.
Yeah,
I love
that was pretty cool. I'm trying to find the crazy insane putt. I saw it on the news the other day. There's something like 89 feet.
Up.
We
We got a new follow from Lucy Pickle. Thank you, Lucy, for that follow. We appreciate that.
That's
Thank
Lucky
you. Golf clap.
Pickle.
Golf clap today. gentlemen.
Eric,
Golf
Eric,
clap.
it's Lucky Pickle, by the way.
Lucky
Hey,
Pickle.
dudes. I
Oh,
gotta
lucky-
run.
lucky
Have a
people.
great show.
Hey, RJ, thanks for joining us.
Bye, RJ.
Because
I gotta go run some errands.
Moadib, it is because the Masters is on. So, but golf clap, people. 2 fingers, palm, butt of the
All
hand.
right, so Carthos Chief wrote another novel, so I got to read it here.
Fucking too long. Did not read. I'm gonna drink my coffee and be illiterate.
You still got to make that drink.
I do, but with my New Year's resolution, I won't be able to make it till October.
Oh yeah.
What's your New Year's resolution?
So I drink way too much, and I know that if I have alcohol, I would drink it. So my New Year's resolution is to not to physically be able to buy alcohol, and that's actually works better than me saying I can't drink alcohol. Because if I go to my friend's house or something and they give me a drink, I'm like, all right, cool. If I go out to a bar and someone buys drinks, it's fine. But I physically will not spend money on it. Now I have to break that rule next week because me and one of our pinned boys are going to go get drinks at a bar. So
Yeah.
So,
I'm bringing someone to drop
Not
money for
really.
me.
I have.
I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to save money, lose weight, and kind of help lower my blood pressure a bit. And I thought that was a reasonable way to describe my New Year's resolution of that's a good thing I can cut. And
Yeah.
so far, I've done the math based off the amount of alcohol I can drink and still not get drunk.
Just remember.
I've saved a couple $100 already. About every 3 weeks, I save about $100.
I've drank with you, and
Yeah.
you are amazingly accurate in hitting the toilet when you puke. That's pretty. good.
I still, when I think about that, I don't remember exactly what it looked like doing that. I just remember being really proud of myself.
Oh
Fucking,
well.
like
Wouldn't-
9 Jack and Cokes where the fucking solo cup is 80% Jack on Fremont Street in the span of an hour. Apparently, is what it takes to fuck Scythe up. Hence the picture where I'm passed out in the intro.
I'm just gonna point out that since it was a bathroom in the link, even
Yeah.
if you missed, you wouldn't have.
It would have been an
wouldn't
improvement.
Yeah.
It would have
I
eroded
hate
some
the
of the
link.
ugly
I
ass
can't-
tile and paint. Fuck
I-
that place.
I can't believe CCP picked the link for Vegas again.
It's probably one of the
bad.
things where it was affordable and it was available. Like,
Yeah, I'm staying at the
which
Cosmopolitan.
I understand. Like, honestly, Eve Vegas is more about hanging out with your corp than it is going to the fucking panels. You know, so I don't think I'll ever buy another ticket unless they have something like physical merch I really want to buy. You know?
No way, I'm going to hang out
isn't
with
that
goons.
sort of like
Yeah.
FanFest, Eve Amsterdam, Eve Vegas. It's like you're not there to see you're really not there to see like the panels. You're there more to see your court mates and your friends.
See, the only
Absolutely.
thing I found cool about Eve Vegas with just the panels and stuff is I did get to actually talk to a few of the devs one-on-one for a minute or two, which that was interesting. But other than
Nice,
that, it
huh?
was I met a shit ton of goons. We met Space Pope. Me and
Space
RJ
Pope?
did. Fucking
Nice.
RJ kissed the ring, which was cool. Honestly,
As
it was
one
just
does.
it was hanging out with Eric and a couple of other corpies,
Yeah, well, we
just
got-
getting shit faced and stuff, having a good time, running around.
Yeah.
But I'm really sad you and RJ left before you, me and D went gambling because we had a good time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you
it was
gotta
fun.
go.
Yeah,
But
we
we'll do
played
that.
we played a shit ton of roulette. He hit 00 twice in a row and then lost it all. I also told him like D, if you tell this story to your wife, the first thing she's gonna say is, "Why didn't you bought me something nice?" I shit you not, it was I think I got it word for word.
Oh, jeez. So I got the new version of XSplit, and it is eating CPU like fucking crazy. So if we get a little jitter, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Is it recording and streaming at the same
No.
time? Mine does that and it pisses me off.
No, it's just straight. Straight up. So, Eve meet in Charlotte, North
Oh.
Carolina.
Oh,
every
Carthus,
first
I know.
Saturday.
I can get on a train and be there in like an hour and a half. If I go to that Eve meet, I have to take the train because I'll be too drunk to drive home, and I don't want to pay for a hotel.
There you go.
Because, Carthus, are you in NC play?
Now we're gonna have.
If you are, send. I'm gonna say it's Scythe. Send me a message. We'll see if we can hang out.
It's Scythe.
It's Scythe. That's my Twitch channel. Did we win yet? Yeah.
Did we win yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you win? Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
in
we
that-
win
I'm in
yet,
that
man?
group.
That's
Hey, so do we wanna reminisce about like Uranus? It's like talking to Uranus. Well, when you're young, reminiscing about games. It's like the dumbest thing I can say to you.
Can we talk about Ultima?
What are you talking about? I am young.
Can we
So,
just talk about
I just-
Ultima
I just-
like for
I just-
hours?
I just want to use my game news bumper. So can I use it to go to the next?
Yeah, I have
segment?
game
Are you
news.
okay with it?
I have game news. Use the
Okay,
bumper.
let's do
I'm
game
gonna
news.
complain about something for
There we
the public.
We need sound with our bumpers.
Just,
There you
it
go.
just,
There's
needs,
the
it just needs
bumper
to,
sound.
it just needs to like a.
So, game news for this week is pirate game came out called Sea of Thieves, and some
Oh, that's
shithead
amazing.
decided he was going to get all of his Twitch followers to grind chests to turn in for rep, so that he can max and 100% the game without doing any work. And the community is really mad, and they want him banned. So there you go. There's your game news. But I'm like,
That's
my
so
buddy is
fucking
really
mad.
mad. My coworker's mad. He's like, this is fucking bullshit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude,
Dude, he
if I had that ability, I would do that in every game because I don't want to grind. I just want to have fun, you know.
exactly. He socially meted like his way
Yeah.
like to the top of the game.
I'm like, being
just-
a good captain means you tell people to do work. All right.
yeah, exactly.
Good pirate
Okay,
captains aren't
so
sitting
who
there
did,
murdering
who did
people
what?
himself.
I missed the story. I was like being
Okay,
adopted.
so there's an asshole, some dude and some streamer was playing Sea of Thieves, and
Mhm.
basically in Sea of Thieves you get chests or treasure and stuff you can turn into different factions and get
Mhm.
in-game currency and reputation with that faction. He had all of his Twitch fans grind all these chests, store them on their ships, and then he would join their crews. They would turn all the shit in, and then he would go to the next.
Oh,
crew,
this was
and
the
to
guy
next
who
crew.
like first made it to like legendary.
Yeah,
player
or whatever it
one.
is. He hit the max
Yeah.
tier or whatever instant, like
Mhm.
in like an hour, essentially, where everyone else did the work. And the people who really like the game are freaking pissed. I'm like, honestly, that doesn't affect me. He didn't
It's-
cheat. He didn't do anything against the EULA that I can see. The only thing is, I think one of their there's a pirate's code as part of their EULA, and it's playing fair. And I'm like, that's playing fair in my mind. Like he didn't.
Yeah, like they could have
He didn't
easily just
actively
gone.
screw anyone over or anything like that. They did
Yeah.
it by choice. He didn't tell them to do it. They're like, "Hey, join our game. We'll give you that." And he's like, "Oh, let's do this then." And I'm like, don't get me wrong. I can see where if you were working on it yourself, solo player trying to hit that tier, that's a lot of effort.
Mhm.
It's a digital title that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
Garthos Chief is saying he never got his skins he pre-ordered on Xbox.
Mm.
Crazy.
Well, Karthos, all I can say is, meh. Easy
Meh.
Master Race.
This is true.
fucking harsh.
Us-
bro.
Get wrecked. No, actually, Cartes, I don't know to tell you, man. Contact Microsoft. Their tech support's their support team's pretty good for Xbox. So
I
Yeah,
was
there are a couple things that like Sea of Thieves looks like one of those games where it's like
Oh, it
I
looks
would
so
be
fun.
really wanting to play it. But there's
It's
there's
only
a
fun
lot.
with a
One of
crew.
my that's really the only reason I would play it is just if I had a group of friends who were like, oh, let's do Sea of Thieves and let's go out and start shooting some people or
If-
whatever. But like,
McLeod,
what's really
'cause it's-
stopping me from playing it is there's not, besides like cosmetics, there's not like a, you're still
Progression?
playing the same character. Yeah, there's no progression. You're still playing like even like small buffs or like unlocking tools. Like they give you all the tools already, and they give you all the weapons already, and there's no like, I'm going to go buy this shotgun, and then I'm going to go buy this upgrade for my shotgun.
I thought there were slightly improved character weapons, but if I'm not mistaken. But McLeod, you own the game, right?
I don't own the game.
Okay.
I've seen the game. I've watched
Okay.
streamers playing the game.
'Cause
It looks really fun. And
I've
as
been-
Moadib says in the
Yeah.
chat, it's like it's a VR. It's like it's a VR game, but not for VR.
Yeah,
which
it
is,
would-
like weird. So yeah.
And no
No,
end
I
game,
was-
no progression, like Urandus was saying,
'Cause-
right?
All I can say is if you can play that game without talking in a pirate accent, you're dead inside, and you should feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way, if
Like,
they
There's no way I could play that game without talking like.
if they change the game so like I can customize my ship, so like maybe I can like rotate out some of the guns on the ship for like something that'll increase my ship's speed or like some sort of
a
customization.
grappler
or
launcher,
whatever.
so you can board the enemy ship, or a mortar, so you can over arc your shots, or something fun like that. That'd be...
Yeah, I mean, if they there's a solid base though. There is a solid
Oh,
base
yeah, no.
there for an amazing game,
Now,
and I
there-
really want them. to
There
use
is a
for it.
pirate game that is exactly what you're describing that's been out for a while. I just can't remember the name of it because I was trying to buy it the other day. I think it's not Man of War Corsair. It's got some other name. What is it called? Let me see. Oh shit. There's another pirates game that's literally you run around and you get a crew on your ship and it
'Cause,
looks the
yeah.
exact same. It's just not as pretty, but
Yeah,
it's pretty
the
cool.
The game reminded me of like Arc Age's Naval Warfare.
Yeah.
Like, but more cartoony. But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a little.
Cartoony is not a bad thing in a game. Honestly, it makes the game
It's
stay
simple.
longer, I think.
Simple. It's simplicity. So
Sorry, they just added the Starfinder pack for Fantasy Grounds. I gotta go drop like $200.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I want
I'm
to
not spending that money.
I want to thank G Garrett for the follows. So thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks, man.
And we always appreciate any subs to the channel supporting Imperium News, as well as any follows, and also you can always fire tips our way, because we use that to support our video feed, because we do actually have video software we pay for. So
It's really good though. I like this way better than the Skype shit that we did originally.
oh yeah,
because
this is so much.
this is actually stable, and I love it. And the
And-
camera quality is better too.
and I could pre-predict where you were all going to be almost.
Yeah.
And pretty much
Until my camera crashed, and then we had to just reverse to
Yeah, it was pretty easy. So yeah, it's much better. So thank you for all the support out there. We do appreciate it, no matter how you do it, whether it's a follow, a sub, or a tip. We do appreciate it.
I'm
So
just gonna make McLeod angry. At me.
am I the only one that, like, when you go back in the gaming history, remembers when you actually had to go to a mall and go to a room that had a bunch of video games in it and give the guys, give people dollars, and they had little quarter changers down there, and they gave you quarters and shit? None of the rest of you do any of that?
Like an arcade.
Yeah, like an actual arcade.
I remember going to the arcade, but there was a
Very,
machine
very
for
rare.
those, which was lame. I always wanted the guy running around with the, because that made me feel more.
Hey, in the beginning, it was just a guy with a little quarter changer on his belt.
Yeah,
Ching,
that's right,
ching,
yeah.
ching. Each
I
pushes
have one of
ball.
those quarter changers in the closet somewhere.
See, remembers.
I collect weird arcade stuff. I have a collection of arcade tokens from every arcade I've ever been to.
Dude, in Costco, I want the fucking video arcade game that has like 2,000 freaking 3,000.
It's
video
on like the
games
little
on it.
joystick and by itself or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it has everything. It has the ball for
Yeah.
Centipede and the golf
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
Galaga, and all that shit.
I have
Can we
something like
talk
that.
about
It's
the
just
greatest
a
sports
joystick,
game
but it
ever?
has like 5 different
Arcades.
games on it. It's got like Galaga, Dig Dug, some
Yeah.
other old stuff.
Yep. Tempest.
Can we
I
talk
love
about the-
Tempest.
Eric, have you ever played? I want to say it was one of the Madden football games in the arcade or something, or some. I can't remember who it was named after, but it's a football game where it had like a lever, a heavy loaded spring lever that you had to pull back to like power up your quarterback's throws, essentially. So you actually like got to power the throw based off of that instead of like double mashing a button.
I don't remember
That's
that.
the only sports game I've ever seen that was actually really good.
We used to love the football game that you played with robots, and if they hit each other hard enough, you could blow up one of the robots. And you had
Blood Brawl on Steam, it's the same shit. It's awesome. There's
Yeah.
also a tabletop version of it that's really cool.
Yep.
I'm not even a football fan. I bought the starter pack for that game. It's really fun.
if anybody only had you on video, they swear you were taking a toke the way you were talking. Like,
Yeah.
don't ask me how I know that.
I don't do the sports ball, and I had to admit a shame of mine. I spent $100 on a starter pack for sports.
And Aramis mentions the MAME emulator for your PC, and absolutely, I've got a.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have that, and I used to have a bunch of games out there for that They were lots of fun. And and speaking of that, right, that leads into the #1 movie last week. Ready Player One, which has
was good.
things to all those games out there, right? Like Joust. I love Joust.
Fantastic. I'm really sad. That's actually one of my
Ooh.
complaints is that they changed the challenges out
Yeah.
for Ready Player One, and the Joust sequence is not in it.
Oh wow.
So
Well-
you don't play Joust against the Lich King. And I was like, God damn it, that was hilarious thought processes. The Lich King challenges you to a game of Joust, not literal Joust, like jousting.
Like the World of
but
Warcraft Lich King.
But then
essentially
again,
what it's described as in the book is an ancient lich is like the boss monster of a dungeon, and you have to beat him in a game of arcade Joust, 1v1. And I was like, that was just a great thought process in my mind. Like that scene was beautiful. And
you know what, like
it's
like,
a
you're
good
coming
movie.
from, yeah, you're coming from like reading the book and then seeing the
Oh, yeah.
movie, right? So, but I think that the nice thing is, and it kind of works in the same way as George R. R. Martin doing
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, that you can watch the series
Mhm.
and then read the books, and because the book and the series aren't exactly identical,
You can enjoy both.
You can enjoy both. You can enjoy so someone who hasn't actually read the book can watch the film, enjoy the film, and then read the book and get pleasure out of reading the book.
Oh, no,
'cause
no.
It's not a one-to-one thing.
That thought there,
really good.
McLeod, is actually really good. I have a bunch of friends who have not read the book. They all went and saw the movie. They came back like, this is really cool. I'm like, did y'all read the book? They're like, no. I'm like, go read the book because it's more.
Yeah.
I'm like, the main thing I've noticed is the challenges are different. The romance is really shoehorned in, I felt, in the movie.
Yeah,
And,
I was told.
And
there's
the redeeming sequence for the main character is not in the movie the way it is in the book. And in the movie, it's okay. In the book, it is a strong moment for character progression. Like, really hardcore. Is the main character does a
Yeah.
thing, and you go, oh, shit, why would you do the thing? And then you figure out his plan as he's going through it, and you're like, fuck, this dude is committed. He is 100% committed. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but the thing is, like, you have a few more considerations when you're making a movie out of something.
Oh, yeah,
You have pacing to deal with. You
yeah.
also you can't make a film that's like 4 or 5 hours long or something like that. So you have to cut things
You
out.
can. It's called Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah, but then you have to make like 3 or 4 films.
Actually,
Each one of them's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
What was that one movie that happened about the Civil War?
Whoops.
Gone with the Wind originally had like a 5-hour movie
guys.
feature, but their test audiences were like, "This is too long."
Yeah, one of my favorite, like, the movie is too long. They didn't make it too long, which is the Blues Brothers. A normal screenplay is about 150, 200 pages. They walked in with a 900-page screenplay for that movie, and I was like, there's like a 60-page portion where it just describes the magic that is the Blues Mode, which makes me happy.
Yep. And
Another
there's
movie
some
being too
there's
long.
some Eve chatter over there in the chat line. Modib is saying, hey, he wants to get into big null battles, right? You don't necessarily need a big corp. What you need is a big alliance, right? That keeps you interested in the game, and I think that's where groups like Init and the Imperium.
Pin is
general-
recruiting. Excuse me.
Yeah.
One dang big null battles. You should have come back in 20. You should have been here in 2012 then, because
Yeah.
CCP doesn't want those.
Well, that's because we break the server.
But yeah, I mean,
I mean, CCP should be thanking us for that.
Yeah, well, you're welcome for the free advertisement. Here you are.
yeah,
On the
and
platter.
one of the things that he should be ready for is, right. So in those big nullsec alliances that have those big wars, you're not necessarily going to be trusted. So you're going to be a pilot in a large fleet rather than somebody who is up there in the Sky Marshal realm, kind of guiding where the fleets go and making some.
Oh, I thought you were going to start warning
decisions,
him
right?
about the fact that you might not actually load into the battle,
You could
and
you
so
could
you'll be hearing about it over comms and like getting frustrated why you can't load in.
you
I
could
love
be
it.
on the fact support team and never just get deployed ever.
There
You
you-
just
but
sit
you
there
get
in
your
the station,
pats.
get free pats, and you sit there and watch it on someone's Twitch stream because just hoping that you get. All right, you're going in. No, never happens.
Yep.
It's sad. I want to drop
You get-
faxes,
there,
man.
there
It's
can
fun.
still be big battles that matter in those things that don't break those servers, right?
No,
We're not necessarily
three-
talking
two-
about the 5,000 member, things.
No,
But
no, like
still 2-3
500
fleets.
versus 500 is an amazing fight, and we do
It
those
is.
on a pretty irregular basis. You'll have 2 or 3 different fleets meet up
Yeah.
somewhere and just duke it out, and it's awesome.
Moadib,
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of
Yeah,
lot of
but-
conversations out there, Moadib, about servers design and everything. We've done some on this show.
Our
CCP
our
does some
server,
amazing
our,
things.
The servers are solid. I think
Yeah.
the real big issue is like the what people really want to fight over right now are like the citadels, the keep stars, and anyone who has a keep star worth being shot at is also going to have 5,000 allies. So it ends up becoming this like clusterfuck on grid, and you overload the servers.
so
So
I want to
I mean,
comment
I
on.
think that'll eventually get solved out by itself when people are like, oh, it's just another Citadel keep bash, and then it starts averaging out to like 2,000 v 2,000 or something, or 1,000 versus 1,000 or whatever.
I want to comment on Modeep's thing about get more servers. Their server is top of the line. The problem is the legacy code isn't it single thread? Is that was the problem?
It's single thread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't support multi-thread.
And which limits how much you can actually do to the point that it's no longer even a programming method used for the majority of production anywhere else. Like no one else does single thread programming anymore because multi-thread programming is way more efficient.
Yeah. Other games don't do what CCP does with their game. That's what makes them so unique and so awesome, right? I don't care that 6,000 people break my server. It's gonna. I can't even get close in other games, right?
Yeah, but
the fact that I can
but
get
you want to
200
talk about like
Go
server
ahead.
performances and stuff like that. Like, when we're having big battles in Eve, it's like 4,000, 5,000 people, like fighting and duking it out, like in the same space, and you've got like Google's AWS servers that are crapping out, like pretty much crapping out, like in PUBG with 100 people. So in terms of server utilization, like CCP utilizes a shit ton of their servers a lot better, a lot more efficiently than other really big titles at the moment. So like they just need to break through that kind of that single
The only way that's
that
really going to happen
process
is a complete
architecture.
rewrite of Eve,
Yeah, and
that's probably
that'll
never
take
going to
a
happen.
lot.
Right.
Well, never say never, like
Never
because I've
say-
seen things that devs have said this will never happen, and it's happened. So like, never say never in that regard. But like, it will require a very, very concerted effort for a good.
It'll be
long period of
expensive,
time to
long
actually
time.
rewrite it, and it'll be really expensive.
You might as well
But it will
just
be worth
start
it.
making Eve 2.
It'll be worth it though.
Nobody's gonna play Eve 2.
Not unless assets
No.
transfer.
Well, here's the thing. Because CCP is this. I mean, come on. I complain about CCP, and Scythe has heard it a million times, right? And there are reasons to complain about CCP, but when you look at what they've done with the game, one of the reasons that Eve works is because they update the graphics. They update it. They keep it fresh, and there are a million things to do when you get bored with it. It's good. It's good design.
Because it's modular. The thing is,
Yeah.
the way that they designed it was because they used Python. Python is a modular programming language. They can pull stuff out, redo it, put stuff back in.
Yeah, that didn't really work
So they've
for
been
the
able
chat
to do
bubbles,
that with
did it?
all the various different things.
Chat.
By
By the way,
I agree.
by the way,
the design
go ahead.
design
Go ahead,
team
Maurice.
and the development teams are all on point. My biggest issues with CCP always tend to be like their upper level management not seeming to know or not being necessarily lined up with what the players want, and the developers being a tech talk and comic fuck. Okay, here we go.
That's our
You
that's
need
our
it- you
that's
need
our
a-
latest
you need a tech talk
transition,
transition.
here at Push
Exactly.
to Talk. Tech
Just
Talk
use
incoming.
exactly that clip of
That clip, yeah.
shut up.
We
No,
might.
you know,
We might.
let me put it this way: I'm not super tech savvy, so Eric and McLeod and them will start talking, and I literally just start staring at my phone, which is why me being on camera means I can't goof off like I normally do on the game. Like, if you can't tell, I'm not playing another game this episode because I'm watching the camera feed to make sure I don't move out of frame. Because when I play first-person shooters, I do this crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh my
just in
God.
case.
I like about 500. Two fleets against each other, about 250. That can be really
That's-
interesting.
Yeah,
That's all.
I like the two fleets on each side, or so there's 3 different comps running at the same time.
500 versus 500.
Yeah, it like oh, this has a jackdaw fleet and whatever fleet, and the other side has a battleship fleet and whatever, like a frig gang or something. I always think those are more interesting because not only is your fleet fighting against something that's probably counter to you, but you're fighting against something that's like a preferred enemy at the same time. So you have to balance. Your FCs are really struggling to balance and learning what to go after and when to pull back and all that stuff. I think the fights are a lot more interesting.
My favorite fight in Eve has to be hands down the Battle of ZXB back in like 2015 or something.
That was pretty.
Or it was like Dominic's versus Ravens
Fucking
or
space
something.
potatoes to death.
Space potato. But like
when you
that,
I
guys,
still
like,
have
the-
space
the-
potatoes
the
somewhere
fight-
in Cloud Ring.
the fight in general of that battle is really cool because not only did you have that, you also had like NC was able to get enough dreads on like an SBU to like stop the progress, and we had to basically sit there for 8 hours like waiting for like another SBU to online.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I prefer Dominion Sov to this shit Sov
What was
system
it?
we have today.
This-
so.
There was a
Sov-
fight that we had like in a Dominion Sov in Halloween War down in the sort of southeast. And I do remember that like it ended up being a DPS race at one point, which was actually and it was super fucking close. I'm not sure who won it, but it was actually really kind of, it was really crazy because like I was in boats fleet bombing,
Nice.
and we were so close, like because we were trying to bomb, we were bombing the hostile fleets, trying to get them to like get off the grid and like reduce the DPS so we can win the DPS race, because like I think they were shooting shooting SBUs, sovereignty blockade units, and we were shooting that like
iHub.
something else like an iHub, and it was just like so fucking close.
Yeah.
Mech 101 wants to know what are our FanFest predictions. My FanFest prediction is that I will not be there.
My FanFest prediction is
Fuck, it's true.
CCP releases nothing that we already know about.
I agree with that. Actually, that sounds about right. Oh, I hope they announce where the U.S. East Coast FanFest is.
That'll be interesting.
If they announce
What
that,
are we-
that'll be the coolest because I'll be booking a hotel room as soon as I.
Are we thinking Baltimore or are we thinking Boston?
Oh,
I'm-
Baltimore
I'm-
would be awesome.
I-
Because
I have-
fucking blue
I'm
crabs.
predicting either maybe like DC or Georgia because anywhere with an iHub, so you know,
With an iHub.
airport, yeah, international airport.
I have two predictions. I actually have two predictions for
All right.
FanFest. The
Pittsburgh.
first prediction is
Philadelphia
that
has
Fozzie is
an
going to look
airport.
smug.
Who's
The
gonna look
first
smug?
prediction is that CCP Fozzie is going to look smug.
Okay. yeah.
Okay,
My
yeah,
presentation.
pretty much guaranteed.
Why is
second
Fozzie
one,
gonna look
and
smug?
the- and the
Oh,
Because
second
he
one
always
is
looks smug.
That's why it's a
Mittens
good
is not
prediction.
gonna
I'm
wear
fairly
the
certain
wizard
it's
hat.
going to happen.
I actually have a
Hey,
good prediction.
but,
Mittens will not have a wizard hat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he
call it.
yeah.
No
I,
wizard
I,
hats.
I think he's made a rule that him and wizard hats don't appear in the same room.
I think it's
ever.
him with it's wizard hats and alcohol at the same time don't appear in this.
No,
No,
right.
neither one will ever
No,
appear.
The second
Neither
prediction
or.
though. The second prediction though is if Hilmar appears on stage, he's going to talk about that time where he mined and lost a mining ship.
Aw,
All right, I'm
poor
gonna
Hilmar got
he
killed.
does.
make a couple other predictions.
All
I'm
right.
going to agree with you that Fozzie's going to appear very smug.
Yep.
He has more smug in him than all of Goonswarm combined. I can't believe it. Okay, and that's a lot of freaking smug. Okay,
It's accurate though.
and
He's smug because he knows everyone hates him.
CCP is going to promise at least one thing that they never deliver. Okay.
Walking in stage.
They stopped doing that a while ago. Get with
No,
it.
no, because
Most of the
last
Drone
time
CCP presents.
Nope.
They're gonna promise drone skins. It's not gonna happen.
we still have not converted all the stations in nullsec, so thank you very much. Not delivered.
That won't happen.
now.
Yeah.
They will actually I think one of the predictions will be they will further delay that from happening.
Yeah, they will further delay that from happening, right?
Player and Stargate.
Player owned Stargates, number 2, right?
We have jump bridges. Does that count?
No, they
Basically, it's basically like they did this big thing where it'll be like, oh yeah, you'll be able to build new Stargates and then find
Yeah, oh, I know.
unknown kind
I've
of
seen
unknown lands out there kind of thing. and now it's just turned into, well, basically that idea's scrapped, but we're just gonna basically
Well, again, that
player
happened
Stargate
during
name
CCP's
onto
like
fridges.
right after Eve's like high back in like 2013, 2014, and so they were like, oh, we can start really developing this, and then after that high, Eve started to dip, and they're like, oh, we can't really support that kind of growth.
Oh, Nova's coming out at some point. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Valkyries will get a new patch. You know,
I'm actually I'm actually hoping Nova is really good because
Me too. I
need
need.
another sci-fi shooter.
I would love a sci-fi shooter. I saved up for like 3 months to buy a PS3 just so I could play Dust, and finally I had enough cash to buy one. They terminated the service. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like my sci-fi shooter was supposed to be Destiny this year, but unfortunately that went the way of the dodo. So
Destiny 2 was pretty good this year, man. I thought it was.
it was good, but like there's like you can't really continue anymore because I've done literally everything.
Yeah, I'm maxed out. I've done all the raids. I've got everything. I'm done. I've uninstalled it. I've uninstalled fucking Overwatch. I mean, if I've uninstalled Overwatch, you know that I'm tired of that shit. Give me Battlefield 5. Let's do it. I need some semi-hardcore first-person shooters.
Yeah, I need one so I can suck at it more. I
You
just
can come play
follow Scythe
Battlefield
around
4
and
with
he
me.
kills
I'll
people.
make fun of you.
No, I just let you stand in front of me and kill people and pretend it's me.
Dude, if we play Battlefield 4, that is how that'll work. I'm not that great in Planet Side when we're playing that, but in Battlefield, I am fucking terrifying.
Well, in Planet Side, you just have to understand that you're gonna die.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
the problem.
no-
when I
no
go in
matter what you
Battlefield,
do.
I'm expecting a 6-kill streak at minimum, no
Yeah.
matter what game type I'm playing.
yeah.
And it upsets me when I don't do that because I know I'm good at first-person shooters. And when I'm not doing good in Planet Side, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And it's just because there's so many people around me.
I need to play Planet Side again. I missed that fucking game.
I just don't want to fucking try and remember my fucking account information.
There's honestly,
Yeah.
PlanetSide has some progression issues where it's like you're kind of stuck with whatever you have.
Yeah,
as
I
soon
just
as
kind
you
of
start,
like
'cause
jumping in though and shooting for 10 minutes.
it's a
and leaving.
good like jump in for like maybe like an hour for
Yeah.
like a week, and then you just forget about it, and then
Yeah.
your client it gets so out of date that you have to actually uninstall the game and reinstall it because that's going to take less time.
That's where I'm at. By the way, that's where I'm at. That and World of Warships. World of Warships. I just I'll go in and I'll play like 1 or 2 rounds and be done. Then go play Eve.
So I admitted a terrible thing today to our mates before we did the show, which is I needed something like piloty, like with good flight system. So I installed the alpha build 3.1 for Star Citizen, and I played that for like 8 hours yesterday before I went to bed.
They released one of the largest kind of
Oh yeah, no,
the
it's
largest
been pretty cool.
new ship.
Yeah, the Reclaimer.
Yeah.
I stole one and I crashed it into people because it is it's the not what is it called? What's
It's
the
the salvage.
salvaging? Yeah, what's the salvaging
Yeah.
ship in E? What's it called?
Oh,
Noctis.
The Noctis, yeah.
It's like the Noctis, but unlike
good.
the Noctis, it's not squishy because it's made of just giant cargo holds surrounding the interior, the usable part of the ship. So you just crash into people and it's fine. The ship just doesn't care. It's
the
great.
fucking
Lose
huge
all your
clamping
cargo.
arm on the bottom looks amazing, by the way.
The giant
Oh,
grabby
so
arm.
amazing.
I I need like 2 other people so we can use the grabby arm. I want to see if you can use the grabby arm in combat, and, like snatch people's ships.
That'd be so funny.
Because
Yeah,
you
your
like
battle arm's
fucking
gonna rip
strike
off.
fighter goes by and it's like a kaiju just swiping the arm and it crushes them. It'd be awesome. But the problem is, we'll go ahead and reveal this. I've been playing it while wearing a gift I got for my birthday the whole time because I'm a nerd.
Oh no.
You
Not
gonna
this.
this now?
We're gonna put it on. I'm gonna mute this. Hold on.
This is
It is
drink is
fantastic,
fantastic.
guys.
Everybody should be drinking this later on today. I believe Newbie has harassed him mercilessly for this helmet. He can't
Yeah,
even
it's not
hear
gonna
us.
work,
He
man.
can't
You
hear
probably
us. He
break your
can't
thing,
hear
man.
us. I liked it better with the big googly eye over the Rebel patch on the side that you had.
Oh well, I can fix that real quick.
Oh, damn it, he can hear us. I thought he couldn't hear us. I was going to start insulting
No, I
him.
have to hold the
Kinda
headphone here so I can hear you.
It's
Okay, so he
terrible.
can't hear. Waiting for him to like lower it so I can start insulting him. Just look how dorky he looks in that helmet. It's like, see, now he's gonna put this on. Like, this is just like try-harding at that point to look as dorky as possible. Here we see the scythe in its
I can
wild
fucking
habitat.
hear you this whole time. You realize that, right?
You have to say it like Jacques
Well,
Cousteau or
there's
Randus.
the 10 billion-esque I'm not getting
There you go.
anymore.
There you go.
There, I can actually hear pretty well this way. There you go.
Oh, that's fair. That's good. That's good.
Uranus, you got to say it like Jacques Cousteau,
Now I'm
right?
completely blind. I can't see shit.
And here we have the
And
scythe.
here we have the scythe in its natural habitat.
Yeah, he was
Look at
French,
how it
not German.
stalks its prey.
And here we have your average Goonswarm pilot.
I can press F1 real good.
That's good, Scythe. I like it.
It's the good, yeah.
Mario Mao, DK likes it. It's fun. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna wrap here. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the show. Certainly thank everybody. RG's not here anymore, but Urandus, Scythe, and McLeod. Thank you for being on the show today. I hope everybody in the audience enjoyed it. We are here every week at the same time here on the Imperium News Network. We will see you later. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.